Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening. Jack trudged through the biting snow, his boots crunching on the icy ground of Glacier 9. The wind howled like a wild beast, stinging his face through his thick scarf. He was a human explorer, tough and stubborn, sent to map this frozen, forgotten planet. His breath puffed out in white clouds, and his scanner beeped weakly in the storm. The cold was cruel, creeping into his bones, but Jack kept moving. He had a job to do. The storm grew worse. Snow swirled so thick he could barely see his own hands. His radio crackled with static, no signal from his ship. He was alone, miles from safety. Jack squinted, pulling his hood tighter. Maybe it was time to turn back. His fingers, numb in his gloves, fumbled with his scanner. Then, he froze. A sound cut through the storm's roar, a faint, sad cry, like a child sobbing. Jack's heart jumped. A child? Here? Glacier 9 was supposed to be empty, just ice and rock. He stood still, listening hard. The wind screamed, but the cry came again, weak and desperate. It pulled at something deep inside him, something human. He couldn't ignore it. Jack turned toward the sound, his boots sinking into the snow. Each step was heavy, the storm fighting him, but the cry grew louder. It was real. He climbed a small hill, the wind nearly knocking him down. At the top, he saw something strange, a soft glow in the snow below. Jack slid down carefully, his heart pounding. The cry was close now, almost at his feet. He dropped to his knees and brushed away the snow. There, curled up in a shallow pit, was a small figure. It was no human child. Its skin sparkled like crystal, glowing faintly under the ice. Big, round eyes, wide with fear, stared up at Jack. Frozen tears clung to its cheeks, shining like tiny stars. Jack's breath caught. An alien. He'd heard stories of strange creatures on far-off planets, but seeing one was different. The child was small, no bigger than a toddler, with thin arms and legs. It shivered, its glow dimming. Jack's mind raced. Was it dangerous? Could it hurt him? But those eyes, so scared and alone, made his chest ache. He couldn't leave it here to die. "Hey, little one," Jack said softly, his voice muffled by the storm. He pulled off his jacket and wrapped it around the child. The creature was light, almost weightless. Its skin was cold, like touching ice, but it didn't feel wrong. It felt alive. The child's eyes locked onto his, and Jack saw something like trust flicker in them. He held it close, shielding it from the wind. "You're okay now," he whispered, though he wasn't sure if it understood. The child's lips moved, trembling. A tiny voice, barely audible, said one word, "Mother." Jack's heart skipped. Mother? Was there another alien out here? He looked around, but the storm hid everything. The child pointed a shaky hand toward the darkness, where the snow seemed to swirl differently, almost glowing. Jack squinted and saw faint tracks, glowing tracks, leading deeper into the storm. He hesitated. The tracks could lead to help, to the child's family. Or they could lead to danger. His scanner buzzed, picking up strange energy ahead. Jack's gut twisted. He was trained to stay safe, to report back, not to chase mysteries in a blizzard. But the child's eyes begged him, and that single word, "Mother," echoed in his mind. He couldn't turn back now. Then, a sound shook the air, a deep, rumbling roar, far off but close enough to make the snow tremble. Jack's hand went to his blaster, his heart racing. The child whimpered, curling tighter in his arms. Was that the mother? Or something else, something hunting them? The storm seemed to close in, the glowing tracks fading fast. Jack took a deep breath, his human stubbornness kicking in. He'd find out what was out there, for the child's sake. He stepped forward, following the tracks, the child's glow lighting his way. The roar came again, louder, closer. Jack's grip tightened. Whatever was waiting in the storm, he'd face it. The child needed him, and Jack wasn't the kind of man to walk away. Jack held the alien child close, its faint glow cutting through the swirling snow of Glacier 9. The storm screamed around him, but the child's soft warmth in his arms kept him steady. The glowing tracks in the snow stretched ahead, leading into the dark. The child's tiny voice, saying "Mother," echoed in Jack's mind. He didn't know what waited out there, but he couldn't stop now. The distant roar still lingered in his ears, deep and threatening. He tightened his grip on the child and stepped forward, following the tracks. The wind pushed hard, like it wanted to knock him down. Jack's boots sank deep into the snow, each step a fight. The child's tears glowed brighter when he whispered, "We'll find her, little one." Its big eyes looked up, trusting him. Jack's heart felt heavy. He was just a scout, not a hero, but this child needed him. The tracks glowed stronger now, like they were alive, leading him toward a black shape in the storm, a massive ice cave, its mouth wide and dark. Jack stopped at the entrance. His scanner buzzed, showing weird energy spikes inside. The cave felt wrong, like it was watching him. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the icy walls, pulsing like a heartbeat. The child pointed a shaky hand toward the cave and whispered again, "Mother, there." Jack's stomach twisted. The tracks led inside, but so did that roar. Was the mother really in there, or was something else waiting? He took a deep breath and stepped into the cave. The wind's howl faded, replaced by a heavy silence. The child's glow lit the way, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The symbols glowed brighter, their shapes twisting like they held secrets. Jack's boots echoed on the icy floor. He felt eyes on him, but when he turned, nothing was there. His blaster stayed in his hand, ready. The child clung tighter, its tiny body shaking. The cave opened into a wide chamber. The tracks led to a dark tunnel ahead, narrow and deep. Jack's scanner beeped louder, the energy spikes growing wild. He knelt and touched the glowing tracks. They were warm, almost alive. The child's tears sparkled, and it pointed to the tunnel. "Mother," it said, stronger now. Jack nodded, trying to stay calm. "Okay, we'll go," he said, his voice steady for the child's sake. As he stood, the roar came again, louder, closer. The cave shook, and bits of ice fell from the ceiling. Jack spun around, blaster raised. The sound came from the tunnel, deep and angry. The child whimpered, hiding its face in his jacket. Jack's heart raced. Whatever made that sound was big, and it was coming. He backed toward the tunnel, keeping the child safe. The glowing symbols on the walls pulsed faster, like they knew something was wrong. Jack entered the tunnel, the child's light guiding him. The air grew colder, heavier. His scanner screamed with warnings, but he couldn't read it in the dim light. The tunnel walls closed in, tight and slick with ice. He moved faster, the child's glow the only thing keeping him from panic. The roar echoed again, so close it vibrated in his chest. Snow and ice cracked above, showering him with shards. He shielded the child, his breath fast and shallow. Then, at the tunnel's end, a shape appeared, a massive, glowing figure, tall as two men. Its crystal skin shimmered like the child's, but its eyes were sharp and cold. It stepped forward, its heavy steps shaking the ground. Jack froze, holding the child tight. Was this the mother? The child stared, its tears glowing but its body still. The figure's voice rumbled, low and strange, speaking words Jack couldn't understand. It pointed at the child, its eyes narrowing. Jack's hand tightened on his blaster. The child's trust, its tiny voice saying "Mother," pushed him forward. But those cold eyes made him doubt. Something felt wrong. The cave shook again, and another roar, different, angrier, came from behind the figure. Jack's scanner blinked red, warning of something huge moving closer. He stepped back, heart pounding. Was this the mother, or a monster? And what was coming now? Jack stood frozen in the icy tunnel, the alien child trembling in his arms. The massive, glowing figure loomed before him, its crystal skin sparkling like the child's but cold and sharp. Its eyes, narrow and hard, locked onto the child. The cave's glowing symbols pulsed faster, lighting the tunnel in eerie flashes. Jack's heart pounded. The child's tiny voice had said "Mother," but this creature didn't feel right. Its deep, rumbling voice spoke strange words, then switched to broken English. "Give, child," it demanded, stepping closer. Jack tightened his grip, his blaster ready. The child's tears glowed dimly, its small body stiff with fear. Jack's scanner buzzed, warning of wild energy spikes from the figure. He stepped back, the tunnel's icy walls closing in. The figure raised a hand, its fingers long and sharp like blades. "Child, mine," it growled. Jack's gut twisted. He was just a human scout, not trained for this, but the child's scared eyes trusted him. He couldn't hand it over, not yet. "Stay back," Jack said, voice steady despite his fear. The figure paused, its cold eyes studying him. The child stirred, lifting its head. "Mother," it cried, but its voice was unsure, almost a question. Jack noticed the child's tears dimmed when the figure spoke, not bright like before. Something was wrong. He held the child closer, his jacket shielding its fragile body. The figure's voice grew louder. "Humans, thieves. You steal our power. Child, controls energy. Give now." Jack's mind raced. Energy? Was that why Glacier 9's caves glowed? Did the child's tears hold some kind of power? The figure took another step, and the cave shook, ice cracking above. Jack glanced at his scanner, another energy spike, but not from the figure. Something else was nearby. "Why do you want the child?" Jack asked, stalling. The figure's eyes flashed. "Child, key to planet. Humans destroy. I protect." But its voice was too cold, too angry. Jack's human instincts screamed not to trust it. The child whimpered, its tears barely glowing now. Jack whispered, "It's okay, little one. I've got you." The child's eyes met his, and he saw fear, but also hope. The cave rumbled again, louder. A deep roar echoed, different from before, not the figure's voice. Jack spun toward the sound, his blaster raised. The figure snarled, glancing back. "Foolish human," it hissed. "You bring danger." Jack's scanner blinked red, picking up a new signal, something big, moving fast through the tunnel. The child's tears flickered, like it sensed something too. Then, a second glowing figure appeared at the tunnel's far end. Smaller, weaker, its crystal skin was dull and scarred. It stumbled forward, its voice soft but desperate. "My child," it called, reaching out. The child's head snapped up, its tears suddenly glowing bright, like tiny stars. It reached toward the new figure, crying, "Mother." Jack's heart leaped. This voice, this glow, it felt right. The child's trust pulled at him. The first figure roared, shaking the cave. "Liar," it bellowed, pointing at the weaker alien. "She, traitor. Child is mine." The weaker figure shook her head, her voice breaking. "No, he stole my child. Please, human, help." Jack's mind spun. Two aliens, one child, both claiming to be the mother. The child's tears glowed only for the weaker one, but the first was stronger, dangerous. Who was telling the truth? The cave shook harder, ice falling in sharp chunks. Jack dodged a piece, shielding the child. His scanner screamed, whatever was coming was close. The first figure lunged forward, its sharp hand reaching for the child. Jack jumped back, nearly slipping on the ice. The weaker alien cried out, "Protect him!" The child's tears glowed brighter, warming Jack's chest through his jacket. Jack's human heart made the choice. He trusted the child's glow, the weaker alien's desperate voice. But the first figure blocked their path, its cold eyes burning. The roar grew deafening, and the tunnel's shadows moved. Something huge was almost here. Jack held the child tight, his blaster shaking in his hand. Which alien was the real mother? And what was coming to kill them all? Jack clutched the alien child, its glowing tears warm against his chest. The icy tunnel of Glacier 9 shook, ice cracking and falling like knives. Two aliens stood before him, the towering, cold-eyed figure, its crystal skin sharp and bright, and the weaker, scarred one, her soft voice calling the child mine. The child's tears shone brightly for the weaker alien, its small hand reaching for her. Jack's human heart trusted her desperate plea, but the stronger alien blocked their path, its sharp claws gleaming. A deep roar echoed closer, shaking the cave. Time was running out. "Give, child," the stronger alien roared, stepping forward. Its voice rattled the walls, and Jack's scanner screamed with energy spikes. The weaker alien cried, "No! He lies! Protect my baby!" The child whimpered, "Mother," its voice clear, pointing to the scarred one. Jack's gut told him she was the real mother. He dodged a falling ice chunk, holding the child tight. "Stay back," he shouted at the stronger alien, his blaster raised but shaking. The tunnel rumbled, and the roar grew louder, like a beast charging. The weaker alien grabbed Jack's arm, her touch cold but gentle. "Run, deeper. Safe place," she whispered. Jack nodded, trusting the child's glowing tears. He turned, pulling the mother with him, and ran into the tunnel's shadows. The stronger alien roared, chasing them, its heavy steps cracking the ice. The child's light guided Jack, its tears like tiny stars in the dark. The tunnel twisted, growing narrower. Jack's breath came fast, his boots slipping on the icy floor. The mother stumbled, weak but trying to keep up. "Hurry," she gasped. The cave shook harder, and the stronger alien's voice echoed, "You cannot hide." Jack's scanner blinked red, warning of something massive behind them. He didn't look back. The child's trust kept him moving, his human stubbornness refusing to give up. The tunnel opened into a huge chamber, its walls glowing with strange symbols. In the center stood a giant crystal, pulsing with light like a heartbeat. The child's tears glowed brighter, matching the crystal's rhythm. The mother knelt, her scarred hands trembling. "This, heart of planet," she said. "Child's tears, control it." Jack's eyes widened. The child's power was why the stronger alien wanted it to control Glacier 9's energy. The stronger alien burst into the chamber, its crystal skin blazing. "Child is mine," it bellowed, lunging for them. Jack fired his blaster, the shot sparking off its skin. The alien snarled, unhurt, and swiped at him. Jack dove, shielding the child. The mother screamed, "Stop him!" The cave shook, and the crystal's light flickered, unstable. Jack's scanner warned the crystal could explode if it broke. The child cried, its tears falling onto Jack's hand. They burned softly, like warm light. It pointed to the crystal and whispered, "Help! Mother!" Jack's mind raced. The stronger alien wanted the crystal's power, but the child's tears could save it or destroy it. He grabbed a tool from his belt, a power disruptor, and aimed at the crystal. "Stay back," he yelled at the alien. "Or I break it." The alien froze, its cold eyes narrowing. "Foolish human," it hissed. "You destroy all." Jack's heart pounded. He didn't want to break the planet, but he needed to save the child and mother. The cave rumbled, and the roar returned, deafening. Something huge was coming, but Jack focused on the alien. He adjusted the disruptor, hoping to scare it off without shattering the crystal. The mother pulled the child close, her weak voice firm. "Trust, child," she said to Jack. The child's tears glowed, warming the air. Jack nodded, his human courage kicking in. He fired the disruptor at the crystal's base, a low pulse to shake it, not break it. The chamber flashed, and the crystal wailed, its light wild. The stronger alien roared in fear, backing away. But the cave kept shaking. Ice fell, blocking the tunnel behind. The stronger alien turned, its glowing form charging at them again. Jack's scanner screamed the crystal was too unstable now. If he used it again, Glacier 9 might collapse. The child's tears glowed brighter, and the mother whispered, "Save us." Jack held his disruptor, heart racing. Could he stop the alien without destroying everything? Jack stood in the glowing chamber, the alien child's tears warm in his arms. The giant crystal pulsed wildly, its light shaking the icy walls of Glacier 9. The stronger alien, its crystal skin blazing, charged toward them, claws raised. The weaker alien mother clung to the child, her scarred face full of fear but hope. The cave rumbled, ice falling like spears. Jack's disruptor hummed in his hand, aimed at the crystal. One wrong move, and the planet could explode. His human heart raced, but the child's trusting eyes kept him steady. Stop! Jack shouted, firing a low pulse at the crystal's base. The chamber flashed, and a high-pitched wail filled the air. The crystal's light flickered, unstable, sending shockwaves through the cave. The stronger alien froze, its cold eyes wide with fear. You destroy all, it roared, but it backed away, claws trembling. Jack's scanner screamed, warning the crystal was close to breaking. He didn't want to destroy Glacier 9, only scare the enemy off. It worked, for now. The mother whispered, "Child, can fix." The child's tears glowed brighter, falling onto the icy floor. They sparkled, spreading light like tiny rivers. The child reached for the crystal, its small hand shaking. Jack hesitated, then nodded. He carried the child closer, dodging falling ice. The stronger alien snarled, lunging again, but Jack fired another pulse, shaking the crystal. The alien screamed and retreated into the shadows, its glow fading. The cave shook harder, cracks splitting the walls. "Hurry!" Jack yelled, helping the mother stand. She touched the child's face, her weak voice soft. "My baby, save us!" The child's tears fell onto the crystal, and the light steadied, pulsing slower, calmer. The chamber's symbols glowed in rhythm, like a heartbeat. Jack's scanner beeped, the crystal's energy was stabilizing. The child's power was healing the planet. But the cave was collapsing. Ice crashed, blocking the tunnel behind. Jack grabbed the mother's arm, pulling her toward the only exit, a narrow crack in the wall. The child's glow lit the way, its tears shining like stars. The stronger alien's roar echoed, far away now, but the danger wasn't over. Jack's boots slipped on the ice, his breath fast. He carried the child, supporting the mother, dodging falling shards. The crack led upward, toward faint light. They burst out into the storm, the wind howling but softer now. The sky cleared, stars sparkling above. The mother fell to her knees, holding the child tight. Their tears glowed together, a warm, beautiful light that warmed the snow. The child smiled, its tiny voice clear. "Mother, safe." The mother's scarred face softened, her eyes shining. She turned to Jack, touching his hand. "You, heart of warmth," she said in broken English. "Thank you." Jack's chest tightened. He was just a scout, but he'd done something bigger. The child's tears sparkled, and the ground hummed softly. The mother explained, "Child's tears, heal planet. Crystal safe now." The child touched the snow, and its glow spread, melting ice into clear water. Glacier 9's air felt warmer, alive. Jack's scanner blinked green, the planet's energy was stable. They'd saved it. The stronger alien's roar was gone, lost in the storm. Jack knew it might return, but for now, the child and mother were safe. He stepped back, giving them space. The mother sang a soft, strange song, and the child's tears glowed brighter, like a promise. Jack smiled, his human heart full. He'd never seen anything so beautiful. He trudged back to his ship, the storm fading behind him. The child waved, its tears no longer frozen but shining with hope. Jack climbed aboard, his hands still cold but his heart warm. He opened his log and spoke quietly. "Found a child on Glacier 9. Saved it, saved its mother. Humans and aliens, we're not so different. We all fight for family." He paused, glancing at the stars. "I'll keep their secret." As his ship lifted off, the planet glowed faintly below, alive because of a child's tears and a human's courage. Jack set course for home, but deep down, he knew he'd return. There were more stories out there, more hearts to save.